Extendex Data Unlimited, Business Intelligence on Demand, your source for business analysis, decision support, ad hoc reporting, snapshot processing. There is no programming required. It's simple, intuitive, powerful, and comprehensive. In this video, we will be presenting the advanced reporting, which is the core and the crux of the Extendex tool. Now, in addition to the 4 shortcuts that were placed in the Extendex shortcuts folder by the install, there is now a 5th shortcut called Star Sales, which is an instant entry into the advanced reporting of Extendex without selecting anything. This shortcut was provided by Extendex in an earlier video when we did the preview. So here we see the advanced reporting, Extendex advanced reporting, and in this area we have the design panel. In the design panel we see the names of the columns of the sales view, star sales view, and that's the design panel. Here on the top we see the pivot table area where the data will be pivoted. And then on the bottom we have the grid area, and in the grid area we see all the rows that are presented from a click in any element of the pivot table. So as we click in that element, we see the rows that are added together to give that total. So now we're ready to start. We take any column and we drag it to the appropriate area. Here we see on the different areas, there's the filter area, the column area, the data area, and the row area, and also subsequently they're here as well on the palette. So let's say we wanted to take that $2.5 million in sales and say how much was that sales by region. So we'll drag the region and place it over here, and here we see the sales by region. Let's say within those regions, how much was the sale by inventory type? What is it we sold into those regions? We'll take the inventory type and put it into the column area, and here we see, presto, everything is done. Now, to see on the bottom in the grid area what goes into making up any part of this, if we click into any element here, so we see on the bottom here we have the Flatware Western, and we click into the Flatware Western. So here we see Western Flatware, and here we have all the invoices for the Western Flatware. We can also arrange how this should look, so the user himself can decide exactly what the format is, and whatever format is decided is retained from entry to entry. Only the data is refreshed. So we'll take this away, we'll take this away, we'll take this away, and let's say we move the company to the front. Let's say we'll take the region and we'll subtotal by region, and here we see here's the 66,000 within that Western region. So as we clicked into the Western region, let's get rid of this too, and this too. And as we clicked into the Western region, so we see all of the invoices in the Western region. We take another place, let's say glassware, here's Midwest Glassware, and if we go down in Midwest Glassware, we see there are 21 invoices for $57,000. Of course, if we leave the program and come back, everything is retained. So you have the same format, and the format is stored by user. So for each table in view that we would have in Extendex, every user could have their own formatting, and that formatting is retained. Every entry refreshes the data but retains the formatting of the particular user. Now, in addition to what we explained over here, we could also click on the bar chart and see a bar chart of the Eastern, Midwest, and Western, and color-coded by the product types that are being sold into those regions. You can also see that as a Manhattan bar chart instead, if you like. If you said you wanted the X and Y to be inverted, in other words, we would simply invert them over here and change the region for rows. Let's say we take the regions and we make them columns, and we take the inventory types and we make that rows, and now we have everything inverted. If we click on the bar chart, now we have the inventory types on the x-axis and the color coding being the regions. again, with the idea that there is no coding ever, no programming. Okay, now in addition to what we have, some very simple buttons here on the bottom, and we can take all of this data and go to PDF. And here we're ready to store that or send it as an email to whoever needs it. We can show it as HTML, and here it is in HTML. We can export the pivot grid to Excel. Here we have it in Excel. We can close that, and that gives you the idea. Of course, the possibilities are unlimited, and even though we're talking about a very simple table, nonetheless we could manipulate that table so many different ways. For example, let me simply restart by restoring the layout to the default, and here we have the default, and bring back the field list, what I call the design panel, and let's take that design and let's say we want to see it everything by company, and here we have it by company, and by company we'd like to see it by year as well. So here we have our sales by company, by year. Of course, you know, if we click into something, we'll see the invoices that make it up right there on the bottom. Looking for some smaller numbers here, 18,000, let's say. That's 12 invoices. You know, 111,000, that's 38 invoices. And here are all the invoices, just as we mentioned. Now, if we want to filter that, no problem. We could say we're not looking for 2007 and 8, just 9 and 10, for instance. And we don't want all the companies. We can choose which ones we want from a checklist or from a pre-filter. And we could say in the pre-filter we're looking for those companies that are greater than or equal to C and less than or equal to S. Click on OK, and now we have it from C to S. And of course, if we click on the bar chart, here we can see the chart from 2009 to 2010. If we wanted to see that for a single month, we can go on, and there is actually no limitation in terms of how you could manipulate the data. So that concludes our brief demonstration of Extendx Data Unlimited. And we invite your comments and your questions, and of course your interest. Thank you so much.